So introduction to SketchUp. Now, can you please click on this link? It's actually the website called edu.sketchup.com. So when you guys click on that website, it's gonna take you here. So edu.sketchup.com. It's gonna take you to this website. So this is what we do, guys. So when you guys go on the website, you're gonna have this little window. It's gonna say sign in as Rustam, but there is a problem. You know what the problem is? Your computer is blocking the pop-ups. You say it says pop-up blocked here. Pop-up were blocked on this page. So we need to allow the we need to cancel that pop-up. How do we do that? Whenever you guys have this little error, you click on that window and then you say always allow pop-ups and then redirects from this particular website, not all of it, just this one. Yes. So you're gonna click on done, and then it's gonna redirect you to a little. There will be a little window popping up. So we need to select all and then agree with all the conditions. So let's wait. It's loading. So this time I can again click, and then this time it's not gonna block it. So I choose an account. You're gonna choose your account, which will show up on Chromebooks. And after that, you have to accept all the conditions. Since I've done it before, mine is not asking me to accept anything because I did accept it before. But for in your case, it's gonna something will pop up and it's gonna ask you to confirm it. Now you're gonna have something saying start modeling. When you do that, you're gonna have a huge 3D media. So this is what I did with 6th graders. Let me open a new one, and then let me save it. So this is what I have. So students were wondering, Mister, why we have this person? Why do you think we have this person? This person will help me to a reference. For example, I'm making a building, right? So I need to see how big is the building comparing with a human size. That's why we have this person. You can keep him. You don't have to delete. You could delete him, but I suggest you keep him for certain. For example, when I'm going to ask you to make a table, I'm going to ask you need to have a human because otherwise you're if you zoom in really a lot and then make a table in here, it's going to be very small. So to see the actual size comparing with human, you have to keep this person. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about a few of the tools introduction today, or I can give you time. You can explore on your own, but I'd rather show you a few of them. So this is the menu, right? This menu has only a limited amount of tools. How many do we have? Like 12? Yeah, like 13. But if you click on these 3 dots on the bottom of your menu, you're going to expand the menu window and you have more options. So this is limited. This is like a good amount of tools that we use, but this one's sometimes we need to make a circular, which is not here. So circle will be in the hidden part of the menu. So we expanded. Here what we have. Now let me show you one example. So this is human, right? To be able to select him, I'm going to use the select tool. Each tool has a shortcut. Select has a space. So what is the advantage of knowing the shortcut? It's easier to navigate, easier to use it because at some point using mouse, it's very tiring. So every time I want to go here and click, I feel like I'm losing time. That's why learn some of the shortcuts. Okay, for example, select the space, just place on space, and you are able to click on this person. Or if it was a house, okay. For example, let me make a cube. So this is a rectangle. Shortcut is R. I'm making a rectangle, and then I'm gonna raise it up to be a building, right? Let's say I want to delete this front surface. The only way to do that is using a select tool. So space, click, delete. We have an erase tool, which allows me to erase things. So you need to be careful with the erase because let's say I want to erase only portion of this building. For example, I want to erase this line. I would erase this line, but it's going to destroy the whole structure. So there are small elements, small things that you need to know about erasing, adding. For example, how would I bring it back to normal? I would want to add a line here, right? But thing is, I'm not able to look it from the side. So to be able to look it from the side, you need to know another tool, which is called Orbit. Shortcut is O. Orbit allows me to turn things around like this, and orbit around the object, and then look at my object from different angles. Okay. So I want to bring it back. I want to use this line, connect the edges, and it's gonna make it back to the way it was. So today you're gonna just explore things like this, okay? Select, erase. We have a pen tool which allows me to do custom shapes. For example, polygons, right? Polygons have multiple sides. So you want to use this pen and make, for example, pentagon like this. It's not complete pentagon. You know why? Because if you use a orbit tool, you're going to see it's not leveled. You see? So that's another issue we have in here. So you have to have a little experience. Now, I actually should have explained you this lines that you see. So there's a blue line, which represents y-axis. There's a red line, which represents x-axis. And there's a green line, which represents the z-axis, which is the depth of your object. So you see, it's called 3D, right? 3 dimensions. Vertical, y-axis, horizontal, x-axis, and then z, which is depth. So that's why we call it 3D. Okay, what else do we have? For example, I want to move this person away from the building. I would want to use move tool, because there's a move tool. You can pick the person and just move him aside like this. And there's a reference line which shows you which way he's going. For example, look, what color is that dashed line next to the person? Red. It means I'm moving him along x-axis. See? If you move him up, what color is it now? Blue. It means I'm moving him up and down, like along y-axis. If you move it that way, it's going to turn green, which means I'm going to move him towards z-axis, like this. See? So it helps me to nicely move things around, because you can't just move things around randomly. You have to sort of accurately move them around. So those lines are references. Very helpful. Okay. Push pull, it's a tool which allows me to pull the surface up to raise it into a building, or push it down under the ground, below the ground, to make it underground structure. We have a turn, which allows me to turn things around. For example, I need to change the angle of my building. You want to use this tool only. I mean, you can't do it with move tool. You have to use rotate. This is called scale. That's to resize the size of your object. We have paint. For instance, I can assign different colors to my building. For instance, this is a building, right? What would be the suitable color for the walls? You can go on SketchUp, and we have actual different materials. For instance, if you were to make a roof, I have colors which has something to do with roofing. You see roofing? You would pick a roof and you would apply it in here. That would make it an actual looking roof. Orbit, you know, pen, it's sort of an orbit, but it only moves things up and down, right and left. It does not change the angle. It only moves the front look of your object. But orbit allows you to change the angle of your view. Okay, those are two different things. Sometimes both are useful. Now this is, you have a tape measure, which if you want to measure certain things, let's say you have a measurement of table, you want to make it exact measurement for the sake of, for example, if you want to print it on 3D, you need certain measurements, right? So you need to arrange those measurements using a measure tool. And then this is called a circle. You can make a circle. And again, you could use a push-pull to make it into a cylinder like this. All right. And then there is more, which we're going to talk about later. Just one before I give it time to explore. Guys, sometimes you're going to zoom out, and then your object is, you don't know where you are because it's a very big area, right? So it's going to feel like there's nothing, but you zoomed out. So how are you going to go back? You want to zoom in, but it's going to take time. If your measurement is way too big or small, it's going to take time. So how I'm going to go back to my origin is there's a nice tool that is called Zoom Extend. If you click on Zoom Extend, it's going to take you back where you had your drawing, like this. All right, just keep that in mind. Zoom Extend. All right, so thank you very much. That's going to be it for today. Just take your time and explore this. We're not saving anything today. Just in case if you want to save your project, guys, you want to click here. You see it says Untitled. You want to click here or Save. Either way. If you want to change the name, you have to click here. If you want to save it on top of what you had before, you click on Save. But either way, it's going to take you here. And then your objects are saved in the Google Drive. So Google Drive, you can also make your own folder under Google Drive. You create a folder, for example, folder. You can name it Scratch Projects, and then keep your projects in a certain folder. So it would be easier for you to find it later, okay? Folders, name it Scratch folder, and just click on name it, and click on Save. Before I conclude the video, can you guys please bookmark this website? How do we bookmark it? There's a star here. You click on star, you click on done, and then you might want to click on star again, and then make sure it is all bookmark bar. It should be on the bookmark bar. Otherwise, it's going to be saved on the folder. When you do that, every time you open new tab, you're going to have this website here, bookmark bar. Okay? All right, that's it for today.